Hello, innovators. I'm Todd and welcome to the Bridging the Gap podcast presented by Applied Software GRAITEC Group. You're invited to join our conversation to model the future of construction innovation and the digital transformation adventure of this great industry. My guest today is Izhak Paz. He's the CEO and founder of Safeguard AI Group. With a deep passion for improving people's well-being and a drive to create a meaningful impact through innovative technical solutions, Izhak is an experienced entrepreneur and trusted strategic advisor with a solid foundation in economics and public health. Welcome to the show, Izhak.
Thank you so much, Todd.
So I always like to start with how you got into this industry to begin with.
When I got to the industry of well-being because that was my career path, starting in healthcare, but to construction was on a bit different angle. I got introduced to the construction industry when I was working with the Ministry of Health. I was helping them building the Department of Occupational Health in Israel, and we saw and we've been presented with data of a lot of people getting injured in construction sites, a lot of accidents, and some of them are fatal accidents, and that's how I actually got to meet my passion with people and people well-being and the construction industry, where I saw that there is a big need to solve the problem. And there is a big problem there in terms of safety, and it's happened to be a global problem, not only local in the Israeli market. So that's how I got there. I mean, the original passion of well-being and the fact that there is a big need in that specific sector.
Yeah, that's interesting. How has the approach to safety in construction really evolved over the past decade or so?
That's a great question, because I think it's about the construction sector understanding the fact that you have shortage in labor. I mean, they build like this since the Pyramid of Egypt. Most of the methods were the same in terms of scaffolding and structures and so on. Mm-hmm. What's happened to be is shortage of labor in terms of the global economy, which made the construction industry evolve in terms of technology methods, and also being able to protect that purchase resource, which is the humans. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, first the mindset that made the shift in terms of safety. After the mindset evolved, now the construction sector is more open to invest in means and technology in order to advance the safety of its workers.
Yeah, interesting. What do you see the current landscape of pulling in AI, and there's so much data around a job site? How do you pull AI and the data usage into the construction industry, and how's that reshaping this whole space of safety?
So I just had a conversation this morning about this. I'm part of community of entrepreneurs. So a few years back, one of the friends of the community had an AI technology, very, very advanced, that analyzed feedback from computer vision. So you have cameras, it can convert any camera to be a safety manager, basically. Yeah. So he launched that program 5 years back, and he couldn't raise capital. The program failed, like he couldn't launch. And what you're asking now is, I told him, listen, it's also required that the society will have evolution. So the fact that the AI got to the point where it's evolved, humanity evolved to the AI era now they are more receptive in construction sites to put cameras. So before, when we got there, say no, no, technology, cameras, no. Now they're more open to advanced technologies, to deal with data, to put servers, to put hardware, to put wires. So as a base, as an answer to your question, is that the stars aligned. So now the construction sector is ready to make changes in the way they do things and apply more technologies and advanced technologies that are able, A, to collect data, B, to pay for processing data in real time, and then also make sure that the teams on site use interfaces, mobile application or web interfaces in order to see all that happening with all this data. So yes, it's happening. It's happening.
Yeah, I think so. I like what you said there too, of the not only does the technology need to be there and obviously need to work properly, that's only one part of the equation. You also have to have the culture and the mindset of, yeah, we're going to use this, we're going to trust it, and we're going to embrace it. With that, how do you then harness the data sets of things like cameras and sensors to pull in the right information, really give the real meaning for people to take concrete action against it, and then trust that
Yeah,
they're
so
doing the right thing?
Okay, so let's go back to cameras. We have in our platform, for example, we design it as a platform, so we have our core software application features, but we also have a huge computer vision module and so on. So let's focus for a quick example on cameras, because I feel, from what I know and what I see, that cameras going to be a big part of the AI, specifically in construction. Okay, so now what's the challenge is? It's noise. Okay, so now let's say in a perfect world, the construction site have now 200 cameras starting to process data. So let's say we overcome the mass of the data, like we can process the data and we can store the data and we can do all of that in real time. It's a massive challenge, but let's say we succeeded and the internet is working and everybody is happy. The thing is now, the poor superintendent in the construction site. Now, when we processed all of that, what eventually the service that is going to get, that is not going to decide I'm going to close it because it's making so much noise. So I think the challenge now will be, after we will overcome all what I said, which is the hardware and wiring, the processing, the storing, all that stuff, is eventually what will be the piece of information out of all that noise that will be worthwhile to go through all that hassle. And that's, I think, what we see in safety. It's our main challenge is, okay, I saw somebody without helmet, and he's without helmet also the second after, and the second after, and the second after. And so how do we, like, what the service that we use this data? So as I said, the volume of data going to be something to think about as we design our products and services for the next 5 to 10 years. And the value, what we focusing it on. And I think that will be our main question as we go back and assume that the construction company is going to install everything we want them to install in the sites, which I believe they will. They will go with us. But as long as we are not going to make them crazy, and we're going to still focus on them building the building on time and on budget.
Yeah. So how do you go about that balancing act of kind of controlling the floodgates there, of getting enough data that it's reliable and you see the full picture, but not so much data that you're just drowning in a sea of zeros and ones?
So as we speak, we in our company, we have an AI tiger team that they have two main focus. One focus is to implement, we as an organization, AI tools like ChatGPT in programming and all the copilots and all those tools, but also to apply advanced AI tools into our product. So part of the things they are looking at is the the type of services. So we are looking in more, you would expect that most of the services that you would like to use AI data is for the real time aspect of it. So I have a situation, I put it in real time. So what our goal is to balance is some of the services we do in real time, and some of the services we use, the services require massive amount of data, we provide more an enterprise pattern. So we tell them what you need in real time is things that it's very rare piece of data.
Mm-hmm.
So something very rare that we will take and bring it to you in real time. And things that you require as an organization about the way safety behavior in the site in general, things that related to a pattern that you as an organization need to make decision, and things that not going to impact tomorrow or today, that's what we take our time, we process it, we analyze it, we provide a lot of supporting data, a lot of pattern analysis, and we are allowing ourselves to give it in latency, because and that way you can, they have the value of the system. They have AI that say, okay, listen, I find the needle in the haystack, beautiful, and I have AI that give me an enterprise grade material to, I need to change my policy, I need to change the way I do things, this is a more long-term approach of safety. So that's, I gave you the gist of the way we look at it.
Yeah, I like breaking it down into the short and long term. That's how you're gonna create your actual business needs and your strategy and everything. Yeah, your short and long term. So I think pairing AI with that makes a ton of sense. One of the things that always comes up with AI is, not everybody's super comfortable leveraging AI yet. So what risk do you see that are posed by AI, or maybe myths that the people think is risky that really isn't the case?
Okay, I'll give you right here the sum of all fears, because I tell my programmer, tell me how we use ChatGPT. So they basically, ChatGPT today, they use it for code. Okay, so ChatGPT can write code. ChatGPT can design concepts. You can ask them concept to give you concept. So I look at something like Iron Man type of thing, Jarvis, the bot of Iron Man, AI of Iron Man, where he basically requests a specific thing, and then the AI take it all the way. So it tells, okay, I want now to hack this, I want now to do this, and the AI basically set up the server, put the codes, put that, and like ChatGPT today does only one task at a time, but I see in 5 years from now an AI that can do multi-steps. I can take it very far and all the way to weapons. So that's as far as what I see in terms of some of our fears, the use of AI, or also misinterpretation of AI. Meaning that the AI takes the wrong paradigm and then make an activity based on it, whether it's in medical, whether in robotics. Eventually construction will have robotics, so it will utilize robotics or chemistry of materials in a different way, and I think that's things that as we release more and more to these advanced technologies, we may see issues. So for us as humans, we want things to work for us, so we'll be very tempted to let more advanced AI engines work for us. I work a lot with ChatGPT, but I think this temptation need to be controlled, whether with regulation or ethics, in order not to get it to a point where the AI can actually be an opponent to us, and that can be crazy because it's very fast. It's work fast. I see the ChatGPT, the way it works fast.
That's amazing. It's a great resource and tool to kind of bounce ideas off of and brainstorm. Yes. So it's what kind of safeguards then can we put in place to keep on the path that we should be on?
I think that it's a lot of work of the giants, Amazon, Microsoft, Google. I think that we saw them in the past 5 to 10 years taking a lot of leadership role in terms of creating democratizing the world in a different way. And
Hmm.
I think in the AI generation, they need now to come through with a lot of responsibility because they're going to be the vehicle of the processing of those engines. And they have the cloud business. I think they need to come through and not to be greedy because it's going to be, they are also in the junction because look at ChatGPT. In 1 year, it moved from, I think it was $40 million a year to $80 million a month. And it's gonna excel even more. And that's one engine. There are gonna be a lot of those engines. So more responsibility of the giants because it's beyond governments. It the AI power is in the hands of those guys, not the governments.
Right.
So they need to be very, very, very mature about this type of power.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Where do you see the future of AI and data in construction safety going? And maybe are there any emerging technologies or trends that are really exciting you around this as well?
So specifically in safety and construction, we we I mean probably it's natural that every construction tech company will say they want to own that zone. We want to be very dominant in the AI era. We designed uh, our technology as a platform in order to collect a lot of data. So I think there are going to be I think two main trajectories. One trajectory going to be related to cameras, to computer visions in all aspect of it, whether it's helmet-based cameras, IP cameras converted to many other needs,
Mhm.
and drones and so on. So a lot of work with cameras related to safety. And I think the second aspect is the processing. We're gonna see a lot of platform like ours that have the ability to create the right interpretation to the right data and give it the right context in order to provide to decision maker the piece of information they need, whether it's a real time piece of information or more in-depth insight information. So on one axis, I see the means, meaning the cameras and computer vision, and the other axis is the processing capabilities, the algorithms. I think this is where we're going to be a lot of power of AI
Mhm. Yeah,
in
really
safety.
interesting. Yeah. Pivoting a bit, how do you overcome the fragmented nature of having all these different kind of multiple technologies that are being used on a job site to really create that end-to-end solution to have kind of the one source of truth that everybody talks about?
So in terms of safety, we took ownership. We built end-to-end platform that covers all aspects. I think it's really important in terms of safety to have this type of solution. Or if there's going to be an aspect that we didn't think about or will come later, we either going to develop or integrate it. So, but it's really, really important in safety because safety is impacted by humans, by machine, by management, by a lot of aspects to have an end-to-end integrating capability. And uh, that's where we invested in. And I think we'll see more and more approaches of end to end. Like we'll see an entity that take ownership on the quality control, an entity that take on safety, on budgeting. Maybe Procore gonna have integration that more suitable to this type of lineups, or Autodesk and so on. And I want to see construction sites more working in command and control approach rather than document control. I think that's another evolution that construction sector need to go through, because the AI can get them there to be more command and control rather than let's document this and document that. It need to shift.
Yeah, how does that shift happen and take place? What do you see as the journey and evolution for that?
Well, I think they're forced in that direction because they have problem with resources, with their productivity. They have a lot of shortage in human resource that will force them to move to more agile, more faster projects, more robotics, more smart materials, different building methods. So they are challenged. And I think
Yeah.
the, the force of nature gonna get them to be a bit more techy.
Yeah. So going back to how we started it with you have to have the technology and the cultural aspects of it lining up. When do you see the tech and the culture and all the stars kind of aligning for that swift switch to occur?
Well, I mean, I saw not long time ago Suffolk. It's a big construction company. They
Mhm.
have like a all venture capital and all tech arm within a construction company. I see more companies shifting in that direction. So I think the stars, the need is massive. So that's pushing the stars into really a big bang. And the need is massive, and the AI era is here. So everybody talk AI, speak AI, and now there are a lot of startups in construction tech. There is hundreds of them,
Yeah.
safety and more in construction, and I think it's gonna happen. Obviously, not all those startups gonna survive the next 5 years. It's gonna be, in some cases, red ocean, but there are gonna be a few that gonna stay and gonna benefit this $1 trillion industry.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting. I think the last 5 years have been this really cool explosion in construction technology, and there's been so much change and happening. We're just really at the beginning of this tech boom in construction. So it's going to be a wild ride over the next 5 years, and to see as all these products start to really mature and really take on a lot of steam. What does that do? What does that look like? How does that change the cultural landscape of the industry as well too?
Well, I think you will see the organization change in terms of the manpower. You're gonna see a construction tech a team member in every construction project. You'll see a construction tech personnel that
Mhm.
is integrating everything. Currently, it's not there, but they're gonna be. Gonna see more robust IT departments, uh, chemists, a lot of chemists going into constructions because of smart materials. It's gonna change.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's,
Yeah.
we can see it in their manpower, the way they operate. Uh, Mechanical engineer, electrical engineer for robotics. It's so we once we see that going, then it's very interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah. If the listeners could kind of have one main key takeaway to remember about the intersection of AI, data, and safety in construction, what do you think they should grab onto?
That I think the main thing is more on spiritual note, that things that we always believe or thought or paradigm we thought cannot be achieved, like order in construction or being able to manage and control safety in construction. So this era is enabling the ability to achieve things that we thought are impossible. And
Mm,
protecting lives in construction is achievable and possible.
yeah, that's awesome. Where can people, or where do you go to really dive deeper into this topic, and kind of what resources or courses would you recommend?
Well, we're starting to see in universities, top tier universities, Harvard, Princeton, Yale, and so on, a big courses on AI or in advanced technology. Also, so in Columbia University, some also in construction. So I suggest to go there. There is a lot of new data, new materials, but also to see industry leaders, people that actually deal with AI. They will have probably more credible. Some of them have already blogs and LinkedIn pages. So it's just to follow them, and a lot of data going to come out of that.
Yeah. What do you see as the next step in the industrialization of this industry at large?
Well, I think that like the CEO of ChatGPT said, so he said that some answers I don't know to tell you because it's going to do it by itself. So I'm saying some of the AI is going to do some of the work and surprises. I think, and some going to be good surprises. And I think that's it. We opened the Pandora box for good and bad, and it's going to be very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, strap bound for the ride, huh?
Yes, it's definitely it will be very hard for us as humans to predict because it's fast. It can process way more data than a single human can do, or single human visioneer. Even our best entrepreneurs, I think, cannot comprehend the processing capabilities of an AI engine, and that's going to pose a challenge for good and bad. I mean, for good and bad. So that's why I'm saying I cannot predict, because I think some of those machines will have the ability to indicate the creators what is the next step and what is the next step in order to build them better and stronger. And what I'm telling you now would have sound for you sci-fi 5 years ago. And now you know that after playing with ChatGPT that probably it's not science fiction, because it's incredible engine that humans created the structure for it, but now it started to build its own life.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the kind of core tenets of the podcast is really centered around innovation. So kind of in that framework, what does that really mean to you?
I think innovation is to be curious and not to take reality as is. So we need to be curious, not to take reality as is, always to think about how to make things better. And then when you wake up in the morning, just go and do it. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm willing to take the risk to do so, but innovation is about not taking things the way they are, to make everything better, to make this world better.
Yeah, I like that, of not taking reality as is. And, as you were saying earlier, that, here the era of AI is here, and we can do things that even 5 years ago sounded crazy and impossible. It's happening now. So I like the kind of the vision casting of innovation. I totally agree with that. How do people find out more information and connect with you?
Well, they can go to our US website. It can safeguard. We have our website brand otus.com. It's our US brand. Also, they can go to safeguard.co.il. And I'm happy. I'm open to discuss, to talk anything. I'm pretty valuable, and I'm quite friendly. So I'm happy to share. I'm happy to discuss anything, just to make, as I said, this world a better place. That's really my ticket. We live only once.
Yeah, I like it. So final question for you. If I could give you all power and you could snap your fingers and innovate one thing in the construction industry, what would you pick to innovate? I saved my heavy one for the end.
Yes, well, that's it. That's put me on because think like it's vast. Like I'm looking to say, okay, I want to go on safety, for example, but I'm looking to something that, like, when you do that, it's like a domino. It's can take care of it all, even not the crane. Like, I wanted to look at the cranes, autonomous cranes. I think it's printing. I would go with printing technologies. I would
3D
the
printing.
technologies in printing technology. Yes, there are printing technologies, but to have the ability to print buildings in large scale. And that's, I think, if to push innovation in certain direction is to have the ability to put a design, and then it's all done autonomically with a lot of 3D printing capabilities.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some cool stuff that's happening there. I think that's even more kind of in its infancy for sure. But the potential there, back to the don't think of reality as what it is, but dream big kind of. I think there's a lot of potential in 3D printing for sure
Yes,
that we haven't even
and
begun to
that's
scratch
going
the
to save
surface of.
lives. It's less manpower. It's more focused. There is a lot to it that can save a lot of human resource in the building process, and that's kind of give us all, give us time, give us budget, give us everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I would try to figure out the 3D printing and not to build like only small buildings, but have the ability to really build all the
Yeah.
superstructure like that. That's a challenge.
I like that. That's a good one. That's a good one. Well, Isaac, thanks so much for taking the time and joining the show today.
Thank you so much, Todd, and I'm more than happy to talk whenever you want.